Hey guys, welcome to Aftermath. I'm Eric.
And I'm John.
Then this is going to be a little podcast that we're doing just to kind of talk about the movies that we liked, what we didn't like, and
our true feelings,
how we really felt about them. Now, just to kind of give you an intro on this. Spoiler alert, because we will be going into every detail about these movies. Nothing held back at all. So, everything. So if you want to see these movies, you haven't seen them yet, don't
turn
listen.
it off. Yeah,
turn it off. Watch them first, and then come listen to this.
Yeah, come talk to us.
Yeah. Okay. So the movie that's been on John and I's mind most recently is The Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Probably the most anticipated movie of the summer.
Other than the Avengers.
Other than the Avengers and Spider-Man, of course. We all know how John feels about Spider-Man. Maybe we'll get into that later.
The underwhelming Spider-Man.
Okay, let's be a little more realistic here. It was good, but what we're talking about now is The Dark Knight. Okay, so I actually really liked the movie. John, what did you think?
I thought it was the most fun of the trilogy, but the worst.
So you thought it was the worst out of all three?
Out of all three of them, I thought it was the worst. I thought it was the most fun, though. It made up for in the fun factor with the spectacle. So, with the action, he's back. More Batman. The villain was amazing. I loved Bane. I mean, granted, the Joker. He had his reign in The Dark Knight. This is a totally different animal. That's true.
And you said more Batman there. I actually kind of felt like there was less Batman in this. Maybe, I don't know, time-wise, if like how much on-screen time Batman actually had in this movie compared to the other ones, but to me it felt like he was Batman less and he was Bruce Wayne more. Did you get that sense at all?
There is no Bruce Wayne. It's only Batman.
I
don't know.
That could be argued, I guess, but
isn't he's always Batman?
He's always Batman, but
Bruce Wayne is the drunk playboy.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. That's the guise that he wears. But I don't know. I liked Bane. I thought Bane was really cool. Tom Hardy did a really good job, and trying to come off of what Heath Ledger did with the Joker. That's not an easy thing to do, and I think that he really brought something unique to the character, and a lot of people probably went into it thinking that it was going to be Bane from the '90s movie, just the pumped up, half retarded.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to it at all. I was like, Bane?
And it's kind of the same thing when I heard that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker. And I'm sure everybody else did too. Like, Heath Ledger, the Joker, it does not make any sense.
The teen movie guy?
Yeah. The guy from A Knight's Tale? But it worked out in the end, and so did Bane. Christopher Nolan always seems to deliver. But yeah, as far as villains go,
he never fails. Man.
As far as villains go, what do you think? Bane versus Joker, which one?
Oh my gosh, you would ask that. Again, two different animals. I thought Bane was a lot more fun. The Joker was just so complex in The Dark Knight. Like, there's really, like, he is the ultimate villain. Like, the Joker was the ultimate villain in recent. So I would have to go with the Joker overall, but Bane was just a roller coaster.
He was really interesting, and a lot of the pre-movie complaints people had were with his voice, which I actually think turned out really well. I really liked his voice. That was the coolest thing about that was just the way he delivered it. It sounded a lot like Sean Connery to me.
Yeah, and I'm deaf in one ear, it seems like, and I could hear him perfectly. A lot of people were complaining about his voice. You couldn't hear him. I watched that trailer online when it was first released, or like the opening, like the 10 minutes, the first like incident thing, and I did have trouble, but I was just like, maybe it was just the quality of the video on the on the download. So I was like, I'll wait until an actual trailer comes out, and I could understand him perfectly throughout the whole movie. I didn't have any problems. I know a lot of people did, but I'm deaf in one ear too. So,
Yeah.
you know.
For the most part, I didn't have any trouble hearing him either. There were a few scenes where it kind of seemed like he was mumbling, but it turned out all right, I think, in the end. But
his voice, his dialect was very crisp and sharp.
yeah,
And I could understand every syllable. Like,
and what I really liked about it too was how he conveyed so much emotion with his eyes. Like, I don't know, you watch like the well, I was gonna say the Twilight movies, but any movie with Kristen Stewart,
Yeah.
and she has the same expression on her face the whole movie, and Tom Hardy only had what like 50% of his face showing the whole time.
he didn't even have a nose.
Yeah, didn't have a nose,
No,
and
not
he
even a nose.
the entire time you could tell exactly, just with his eyes, how if he was mad, if he was whatever.
They are the windows to the soul.
Yes, and he used them to the fullest extent, I thought, and that was one thing I enjoyed about him too. Well, let's talk about something I didn't enjoy about him, and we're just going to jump right to it. Like I said, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen it, you want to see it, and you don't want to know what happens, turn it off. The way Bane dies, or dies, or gets taken out, whatever.
Yeah, pathetic.
That was
Pathetic.
That was really just
I felt like they were running out of time. They had to do something really quick,
Yeah.
and we have this other character that needs to come back anyways. So let's have her do something.
yeah.
And she shoots Bane with the cannon, and
Yeah.
he disappears.
He's just gone. You have this really epic. Like I loved the fight scenes when Batman was fighting Bane. They were so tense and just so well choreographed, and everything was so cool.
Yeah, that first fight scene, and it was so eerie. And no music, no
Yeah.
score during that whole fight. Like, intimidating.
Yeah, but then you have all this build up, and you have Batman fight Bane 2 or 3 times, like 2 big fight scenes, and then here it is at the end about to kill him, and boom, Batman or Catwoman comes in and just blasts him, and that's it, done.
Yeah,
That's just such a bad way to go out for such a good villain, I thought. But
yeah, I thought it was kind of pointless. Like, he had Bane by the ropes. He was down. His gas mask, his morphine fueled mask was breaking with the bat, and then Talia just comes in and just kind of pokes Batman in the
Yeah.
side. How'd you like that? That was my nail.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but why? Like, she could have. She had the bomb. She was the one with the trigger. She could have. She could have just drove out. Like, she was walking out the door.
Yeah,
The plan could have succeeded. It's that, I mean, Chris Nolan wants to do a Bond. He wants to do a Bond movie so bad, and then it does the cliches of the villain giving away the plans,
classic.
or stalling
Yeah.
for it not to happen, and it makes it easy.
gives
And,
the hero just enough time to get in there and foil the plans.
Yeah, and I can tell that they did not want to top the Dark Knight. It's almost like that's what it seemed like to me, because everything was just so cheesy. It's like, Bane, we're almost 3 hours. Let's just get rid of him real quick. We need to cut all this fat out now.
Yeah.
We've spent an hour in a cave in a hole, so the last climax just has to go by in 5 minutes, and it's underwhelming.
Yeah, and speaking of the end of the movie, I felt like the last 20 minutes of that movie were done the way they were, and I actually liked it. I liked the way they did everything. I liked the way they handled Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character.
Yeah, as a realistic character,
Yeah.
he really worked. I mean, he was the most interesting character.
But I feel like the last 20 or so minutes of that movie were made the way they were just because Nolan knew, like, hey, I don't have to follow up on this. I can kind of do whatever I want to, and I don't have to backtrack or revisit or worry about having to come back to this. Given I'm gonna call him Robin, because that's who he was.
Lazy. That's what that
Yeah.
is. That's lazy.
They just gave him the suit at the end and left it open.
He literally is Robin, because his name is Robin.
His very literally name is Robin. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I liked the fact that he was Robin, like the way Batman talked to him, especially in that scene where he told him to take the bus of kids or whatever. For whatever reason, he did that. By the way.
Oh yeah, go on the bridge that has the bombs on it instead of the tunnel that Catwoman blew open.
Yeah.
For a safe escape.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah, I liked his character, and even though that was a really weird choice for things to do at the end of the movie, but just calling him Robin at the end of the movie, just like, oh, his name is Robin. That just didn't make any sense.
The audience isn't going to get who this guy is.
Yeah.
We really have to call him Robin now.
Yeah. So
his last name is Nightwing.
Yeah. Robin, Nightwing, Joseph
John
Gordon-Levitt, Drake, or whatever his name was. I don't know. Like I said, that he just did that because he knew he didn't have to. He knew he was gonna have to make another one. So that's what it seemed like to me, anyways. I don't know what the thought process was, but
yeah, it was like, let's get this done and over with.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Let's round it all out. But yeah, it just there was things that were missing, and I was kind of hoping for more of a maybe even like, I don't know. They left it open with him as going into the Batcave, but it still didn't. I know they're not going to follow this, so it's like, why? What's the point of keeping it going if they're going to print comic books that no one's going to read, or novelizations that nobody cares about?
Exactly.
And it's about John Robin Blake, or Robin John Blake.
Yeah.
John Blake Robin.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know his full name.
You can always do whatever you want to in comic books or novels, but
it's going to have countless fanfics on the internet.
Yeah. But one thing, like before the movie came out, I kept hearing, oh, this cast member's been added, this cast member's been added, and it really kind of diminished my excitement for the movie because of that.
The Inception cast?
Exactly. That they pretty much just took everybody from Inception and put them in The Dark Knight Rises.
Except for Leo.
Except for Leo. Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing that like I just was not. I just became less and less excited for the movie, building up to it, because I kept hearing all these people being added to it. It's like, how are they going to tie all this together? That's one thing I thought that they did pretty well. You never got too much of one character. I thought I was never sick of seeing one character on the screen.
I was never sick of seeing Bane. He could have been in a lot more. I wouldn't mind him just being evil. He was Darth Vader. I mean, the asthmatic voice.
Yeah,
just
pure evil.
He reminded me of Vader from the first Star Wars film. Just not afraid to choke somebody and throw him around.
Yeah.
And he's also a henchman though, and that was the thing. Is like, oh my god, they're turning Bane into a. I mean, I don't know much about Bane, but it was just like he always seemed like a henchman character. So like now he's the leader of his own assassin pack and of his mercenaries, and actually in the end he was just a henchman to Talia. In the end, and she was going to leave him to die, and
kind of took Bane back, seemed a little more of his roots.
Yeah, it's like in the end he was just a hench.
Yes.
And she was
One character I actually enjoyed a lot, infinitely more than I thought I was going to, was Catwoman.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway. I'm not a big fan of Anne Hathaway. I think she's annoying.
I think a lot of people think that as well.
But
I
mean, I felt like she didn't bring anything new to the table. I thought she did a good impersonation of Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Which she did a good job at that. I mean, but Brandon Routh, I thought, did a good job at being Christopher Reeve in that last Superman Returns movie.
That's true.
So I mean, it's nothing new to the table, but I mean, she did her job, and she did a good mimic.
Yeah, but I thought overall they didn't show too much of her. She wasn't in the movie too much. I never thought, man, I really wish they would just get back to Bane or Batman. And the scenes that she was in, the action was actually really cool. I thought she's just very acrobatic the way she should be. And they didn't. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Catwoman overall?
They didn't overuse her. I mean, but it was like, you got Robin. Are you going to use Catwoman? I mean, all these allies. I guess she was a necessary plot. I mean, they used her and she did her. She did her business. So
yeah, she did the job that she was paid to do. That's for sure.
I thought the costume. I thought those glasses looked terrible. Like
they were pretty goofy.
She was wearing those sunglasses at night. Like I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But I mean when they flipped up, but it was with the cat ears. That was cool. I like that. That was nice. But when they were down, I was just like, what's that chick wearing those like huge sunglasses?
Those are cat ear glasses. You never seen those before?
I'm sure it has something to do with the video game or something. I'm sure they're going to put in the video game
some sort of novella.
She can see footprints.
Yeah.
Where's Batman? Where's the footprints?
Yeah. I like how this is just a random thought, but I like how they had Scarecrow in it, and he was another character that was in all three of them.
That little mock jury.
Yeah. That was really cool. But
But yeah, the little scarecrow. I'm never. I love to see more Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he's just he's just a delight to watch.
I guess he was up for Batman, and when they were first
Really
looking for Batman, he was. He wanted to be Bruce.
I didn't know that.
And they got Christian instead. They thought it
Yeah.
was just a little bit better. But I like the Scarecrow character. Batman Begins is actually my favorite one. Like, I can watch that all the time. The Dark Knight is a better film overall. It's probably the worst Batman movie to me. I always thought The Dark Knight was like the worst Batman movie. Had nothing to do with Batman. No Batcave. He had that little hanger, I guess.
Yeah.
But they kind of threw in a little detective. He was doing I don't know he was doing CSI things, which is now, I guess, detectives. I guess
It
that's
almost
what
felt like they kind of shoehorned that detective thing into it.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Batman is the world's greatest detective, but I didn't feel like he was a detective in any of those movies, even though they tried to. Oh, he's examining the bricks. He's putting these bricks into his computer, and
exactly.
You know.
And they turned him into James Bond, and
Yeah.
I mean he's got Q. He's got Morgan Freeman to give him his weapons.
yeah,
He's got his M. He's got Alfred to tell him all. Better watch out.
that goes
I'll
back
give
to
you
Christopher
an
Nolan
advice.
wanting to make a Bond movie. That's what you
He's
were saying
British,
earlier.
British. I mean, he wants to make a Bond movie, so he turned Batman into Bond.
Yeah. Now, Batman Begins, I thought could have been a really good movie just by itself. Like if they never did The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises, I think Batman Begins stood strong on its own.
Yeah, actually, I'll just watch that and then pop in the Tim Burton Batman. And,
Yeah.
Oh, he's already Batman. All right, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we don't have to watch a backstory. He's just Batman and he's just kicking ass from the very beginning.
And see, that was an origin story, a re-envisioning a Batman that was well done, an origin. Like, you need that. Batman's huge. I mean, his backstory is very prominent to who he is, so you need that. But now, since Batman Begins, we're getting remakes, origin stories all the time now.
It's getting a little tiring watching origin stories over and over again, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, well, wait, and enough is enough. Like, the Tim Burton Batman, you didn't need the origin story.
Yeah.
They were in the flashbacks as nightmares.
Yeah.
Um,
It worked really well.
but you needed it in Batman Begins because I mean it called for the story.
Yeah. And see, I've always called now that they're all wrapped up, all three movies are wrapped up. To me, they don't feel like they're not comic book movies.
They're not.
They're not.
No. They're drama. I mean, they're cop dramas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought so. Dark Knight definitely was.
And I forgot.
Batman Begins was a little more fantastical. It was him flying around the city with his cape.
Yeah.
Like the cape was him doing, and he was landing on roofs like a bat, and the Batmobile was flying, and like it seemed like Batman to me.
Right.
Dark Knight felt like cop drama, and this one felt like a war movie. I mean, it was suiting up and going to war.
Very high stakes, but also realistic. So it's sort of realistic, semi-realistic even.
Yeah.
I would say. Obviously, we don't have, whatever the bat. We don't have those flying around.
The Transformer.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, the Tim Burton movies. Those were comic book movies. Those were pure comic book movies. That's what I felt like. And I don't remember who told me this, but somebody made me realize that in the span of those three movies, Batman was only Batman for like a total of 6 months.
Yes, yeah, it seems like that. Yeah, it makes
like
sense.
the entire run of Batman. When you think about Batman, I mean, he's always been Batman. It's like, again, going back to the Tim Burton movies. He was Batman at the beginning of the movie. He was Batman at the end of the movie. He never threw away the cowl. He's been Batman. He could have been Batman for 15 years before that, and for another 40 after. You don't know. But within the realm, within the universe of the Dark Knight movies, he was only Batman in his life for only like a total of 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, in the Dark
Really?
Knight Rises, if you think about it, I mean, he was Batman 3 or 4 times, like 3 or 4 different.
He came back and he went
segments.
away. Yeah,
And maybe like a day, he was actually Batman in that movie.
yeah.
Over the course of, I guess.
Well, he was in the pit for like 5 months.
Yeah, he was in the pit
so-
for like 5 months. So he was Batman when he came back from his hiatus after 8 years for that night, and then
Yeah.
he was Bruce Wayne again. Then he became Batman again to fight Bane. Bane broke him, and then he went to the pit for 5 months, and then was Batman again for an hour.
Yeah, Batman. He was Batman for 3 days. I would say no more than 3 days.
Yeah, and then so that's just a little weird, but it works. It works because that's a trilogy of movies. That's a story. It's kind of like reading a graphic novel.
Yeah,
it's its own story. So
Batman's been he's a very straight character, very bland, but it's his rogue gallery that bring out the color, and where they mirror images of him, and you need those colorful villains for a Batman movie. I mean,
yeah, because
it works every time.
Batman's basically got the most recognizable, cast of villains.
Him and Spider-Man. I think him and Spider-Man have the best rogues gallery
out of any superhero. That's pretty much it. I mean, Batman and the Joker, the eternal tale of, good versus evil, pure good versus pure evil. Yeah. Which is nice. But I thought that talking about Batman Begins, I thought that one of the weakest things about that movie was the villain. It just seems like.
Which one, Scarecrow or Ra's al Ghul?
Both, really. I found them to both be kind of weak villains.
They're very low-key villains.
Yeah.
But the most realistic villains.
That's true.
Scarecrow with the poison, and Ra's al Ghul. Well, he was a James Bond villain too, wanting to take over, deconstruct economies and whatever his master plan was.
Scarecrow's on the streets, getting whatever needed to be done, and Ra's al Ghul was in the background the whole movie, orchestrating things.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. That's why I liked the Joker so much, because he was always in your face. Like, he was always able to just do anything. Like, you never knew what his next move was going to be. And,
it seems like a guy I do not want to work for.
Yeah.
But he gets people to work for him.
He was pure chaos. And, it's like that scene with him and Harvey Dent in the hospital, He's an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
He captured Joker perfectly, I thought.
Yeah, he did.
Not a lot of people it seems like not a lot of people that watched The Dark Knight Rises kind of knew who Bane was, other than, the movie that shall not be named that he was in the 90s. But
that was Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can talk about it if you want.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that.
Yeah, we can.
I don't mind it.
It's
a disgrace. It made its history as a giant blockbuster B movie.
Yeah.
But it's a Batman movie nonetheless.
It's
got Batmobile.
It's something.
Let's think about this. Batman and Robin is more of a Batman movie than The Dark Knight.
I can agree with that. That doesn't necessarily
gadgets,
mean that
utility
it's better.
belt.
Yeah, he's got his goofy gadgets. He's got his suit with nipples on it. He's got his Batmobile. He's got his MasterCard. He's ready to go. He
never leaves the Batcave without it.
Never leaves the Batcave without it. He's ready to go. Yeah. So.
But it had all the elements of a Batman. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Batmobile, Robin, fighting crime, Alfred.
So they have the elements right. Now here's the one thing they got terribly wrong with that movie, and that was the cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Every person cast in that movie other than Alfred was just pitiful.
The only reason I'm trying to salvage anything of this movie is that it was just a nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I went to go see that movie, and I just did not give a damn. I was excited to see Batman.
I was too, and I can't remember what I thought of it as a kid, and that must tell you something, because I loved movies obviously when I was a kid, and I don't remember.
Yeah, back then you didn't care.
I remember.
You get older, you just get.
I remember Batman Forever.
Angrier.
For some reason, Jim Carrey left an impression on me.
I loved him as the Riddler.
Yeah, he was awesome. And then I just obviously Schwarzenegger sucks.
Terrible.
As anything.
Terrible.
But one thing I really liked about it that still, when I think about that movie, it sticks in my mind, is his suit.
His suit is amazing.
I loved it. I want it. And I loved the way his skin looked. Like, everything about that character in that movie was cool.
Looked like he was looks like mercury on his skin. Like they just poured mercury on him.
Everything about that character in that movie was really good, except for the actor.
The puns.
Yeah.
The puns.
Oh my god. Oh, it's so bad.
But
but it's so good at the same time.
Gets them to laugh at.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that movie would make you want to kill yourself or not.
Well,
It can make you laugh or just make you more sad.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it made me happy.
Yeah.
I don't care. I went as soon as I left. I bought the toys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was
I'm pretty sure
commercial.
that's what those two movies were made for. Were to sell toys.
Yeah.
And dolls.
But now it's about the drama, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Are kids gonna get bored? I'm not a kid seeing this new trilogy, so
Exactly.
I don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. This Batman movie definitely was not made for kids. Obviously, but I mean, was Tim Burton's Batman made for kids?
no, I wouldn't think so.
But
those are darker. I think those are darker than the Chris Nolan.
Definitely.
These Batmans are so dark.
But what
those
year did that
first
come
two.
out? 90? It came out in 90, didn't it? Or 89?
89 and Batman Returns I think came out like 92.
So I got the
90s.
tape for that in like 90, I think.
Yeah, I had
and
the VHS of the
I was
first one,
probably-
the second one.
I was probably 5 the first time I saw it, and I wore that tape out. Like, that and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Those two movies. It's
Kevin
very,
Costner.
very random, but those two movies I loved when I was like,
Morgan Freeman's in that one.
yeah, he
right?
was. He was. Tie-in.
What was he doing in that movie?
He was the...
Was he helping Robin Hood?
Yeah, he was like the foreigner who Robin Hood saved at the beginning, and he was like his like he owed him his life, so he helped him, and he
Yeah.
could fight, and he had the spyglass made of leather, and yeah,
He was there for support.
that was an excellent movie. I still love that movie, and it has Snape from Harry Potter movies. He's in that
Oh.
too. There's a lot of people in that movie, man. He plays Sheriff of Nottingham.
That's
That
right.
movie,
That's
yeah.
right.
Christmas
I don't
Story.
remember much of that about. I've seen it like I remember. I watched it
To watch it
a
again.
couple
I
times. I just remember the crow eating the eyeball out of a dead corpse.
It was a really weird movie.
I remember seeing that when I was like, I think that's the only memory I have of it.
It's a
Oh,
really,
that's
really
awesome.
weird movie, but I love it. Like, and I remember because it was a Christmas. I got the tape for Batman and for that movie, and I just wore every single day. I would watch one of those two movies, and yeah, loved it.
Batman doesn't fight for the poor.
No, unfortunately not.
No, just for his own vengeance.
Yeah, so I had to get my fight for the poor fix from Kevin Costner.
From Kevin
In
Costner.
that case. Well, so we're at about the 27-minute mark on this thing. This is Aftermath Episode 1, so I think we're going to call it here, if that's agreeable with you, John.
I'm good with that.
Are you good with that? Okay. Well, so we're going to put this up sometime pretty soon, and just let us know what you guys think. Leave a comment. You know, a lot of people that are going to be watching this are our friends, so send us a text message, let us know what you think, what you liked, what you didn't like.
Cuss us out.
If you finished it, if you don't want to be our friends anymore, that's
Tell us
fine.
when you stopped it.
Yeah.
And then that's how long we'll start.
Let us
making
know
them
when
now.
you fell asleep, and so we can take that information, absorb it, and deflect it, and maybe photosynthesize it.
Yeah, we'll go easier on you guys next time.
Yes. So thanks for listening. If you've made it this far, and John, any last words?
No. That's it.
All right, guys. Till next time.